Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho.
Greetings all our groany peeps out there. Christmas is literally around the corner by the time this episode is released. Once again, we've sprinkled Christmas cheer throughout the episode as much as we can. Also, the music you hear once again for the final time this year all features Christmas tracks. There should be no normal tracks playing. All about Christmas this episode. See how many you can name. Your games this week are Christmas themed Gimme the Question and Yes or BS for the final time of the year. Admin Nicole has brought out more Christmas facts and another story for us all to enjoy as well, as the usual features also return. But there is a slight difference later. You'll not be getting unlucky, but we'll explain that later. Let's get it on. I'll take the floor first and we'll go from there. My groans. Pigs in blankets. When you have Christmas dinner and you are eating, sorry veggies, pigs in blankets and you finish them all off and there are no more left on your plate or in the big bowl in the middle of your table. Absolutely gutted. I love pigs in blankets and could eat them for eons. Speaking of food, food waste. People who waste food at Christmas and give no thought to the homeless. On Boxing Day, if you have any leftover food, possibly make a soup or even sandwiches, then hand out to the homeless, maybe even with hand warmers. Remember, the genuine homeless have nobody. Sometimes they just want the company. And last one, bar humbugs. Okay, I get it. We all get it. You don't like Christmas. Just grin and bear it and it'll be over soon. Stop spoiling the magic for others when all you do is frown. At least try and enjoy the time with your family. And if you don't get on with them, go and watch television. Well, that's my goals for Christmas over with for this year. We now have the first of our final festive facts from Admin Nicole. Fact number 1. I'm probably going to butcher this one. Jollabokaflod. I think I did pretty well there. A Christmas book flood is a unique and well-loved cultural practice that has its origins from Iceland, and it is rooted steeply in the nation's love for literature and storytelling. In Iceland, the book flood is celebrated on Christmas Eve and revolves around giving and receiving new books, often accompanied by delicious treats like hot cocoa, Icelandic chocolates, or even a special beer, and is also shared with loved ones. Now that sounds like a brilliant Christmas. More facts to come later, but now let's play the first of the 2 games for this episode. Your first one is Gimme the Question. Yep, all festive again as previously mentioned, but enough dilly-dally, we're going straight into round number 1. Your first answer is the Cagna. I'll say that again. Your answer is the Cagna. Your questions are: Option A. What is a traditional Christmas drink of more rural areas of Italy? Option B. What is a pooing ornamental character sold around Christmas in some areas of Spain? And last option C. What is another name given to a Christmas season gammon joint in France? Go Groaners, give me your answers. Oh, someone's gone for A there. Any more answers, peeps? Oh. Hey, we have an audience split. First one of the episode, audience split. Good sign. Any more? No one else typing? This is where you pause, give your answer, unpause. Right then, moving on. Round number 2. Your answer is consoda. I've probably butchered that, but my apologies. Your questions are as follows. Option A. What is the name given to a feast shared with the spirit of dead relatives in Portugal? Option B. What is a traditional Christmas food in some regions of Guatemala? And last one, option C. what is the name given to Santa's most important elf in Honduras? Send me those answers, Groaners. If you're playing along after I've recorded, press pause, answer unpause. Whoa, though the C's are flying in. Had no C's previously, but they're flying in now. Any more people? Oh, seems everyone's gone for C. I can take that. Okay, cracking. No more? Yep, that's it. Last round, round 3. Your answer is turkey tamales. Your questions are option A. What traditional food is the Christmas dish of Honduras? B. What is the traditional food of Christmas in Mexico? And last one, option C. What food do street vendors refuse to sell in Spain on Christmas because it's more often for families in their homes? Go Groaners, send your answers in. Playing along live, press pause, unpause. Nope. B's are flying in there. Alright, okay, any more? And we've had another split kind of A's and C's. Okay guys, I hear you loud and clear. By the way, if you're playing along live, pause, answer, unpause. You will find out later on if you got any points during those 3 rounds. And now, I got my groans out the way, it's the audience's time to shine now. But today was a bit strange. I came home and I looked under my tree and found a letter with a candy cane next to it from a certain Mrs. S. Claus. And she's written in to say she's sick of how after Christmas, when Santa and Rudolph, they then get really drunk and go on a bender for New Year's Eve. By the way, the term going on a bender in England means you're going on the drink. As in, you're going to have a skinful of drink and get drunk. She also doesn't like it when people don't appreciate her husband's, the reindeers, and the elves team's hard work to get gifts out to all the good boys and girls of the world. Well, Mrs. Claus, we have to say we appreciate all the hard work from yourself, Mr. Claus, Rudolph and the team, and the elves. And to give our best to all the team there in the North Pole from Groans Own HQ to your house. Now then, Mrs. Claus sent a letter in to us here at GZHQ, but to send your groans in, your Hero Zero of the Week, nominations, or your unlucky stories, you can send them in via the following. Don't forget the feedback though. You can email in via thegroanzonepod@gmail.com. You can join us on Discord every Friday, usually at 8:30 Greenwich Mean Time at the Groan Zone Discord channel. You can also drop your stuff in there as well. You can come along to Facebook groups and drop us a line at the Groan Zone Facebook group. And last of all, you can find me, yours truly, your lovely host, Mystery Groaner, on Facebook Messenger. Moving on from there now, we've got the audience groans set out there. We're now going to have fact number 2. Admin Nicole has just slid another fact under my nose there. And this one hails from Austria. And it's all about Krampus. In Austria, St. Nicholas has an evil partner, known as Krampus. He's a demon-like creature with one task. He punishes all the bad children before Christmas. Also, this means men dressed in devil costumes roam the streets, carrying chains and a basket for abducting especially bad children and hauling them off to hell. I don't think that would fly very well in England. Sounds pretty risky, doesn't it? Maybe that's why it doesn't happen here, thankfully. More facts to come later. Now, in a change to our regular programming, as I mentioned before, just for this episode, we're not doing Oh Unlucky, as it felt a bit out of place for Christmas. So as a one-off, we have a Christmas good deed. And kudos goes to Admin Nicole for finding this one on the fly. A shopper in B&M, that's a big shopping chain, usually quite cheap here in England. Don't know if they're in Scotland, it might be, could even be in Wales, I don't know. But a shopper in B&M was unable to pay for her Christmas shopping when she got to the checkout. She was about to ask staff to take some items away until she could afford it, when out of nowhere, another person came to the rescue and dropped a huge wad of cash in her trolley and then said, "Merry Christmas." This legend quite possibly saved this woman's and her kid or kids' Christmas. Well played, buddy. Well played. No doubt he left that shop feeling really pleased, and that woman had a great sense of relief. But now, I'm going to step aside, technically, and read Admin Nicole's story. Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for Creepy Corner. Admin Nicole has put a Christmas spin to this one in her own creepy way. The title is The Wall That Divides. The snow falls, and the wall still stands. Those with money on one side, those with disease and depression on the other side. One has money, one has joy. Neither has hope. Hope is long forgotten. No one cares about anyone anymore. Not on the side with money, hiding their true feelings behind a fan and a dress. The poor side freezing and huddling together around small fires, barely any houses between them. The food is scarce, but the rats are plenty. The side with money has fat cats feasting on anything and everything. The side with nothing, making friends with even the rats crawling out the sewers. No one is getting left behind. Not even the diseases, unfortunately. The diseases spread from person to person or rat to rat, yet no one cared. They still ate together and lived together, sharing their food with the rats, even if they were foaming at the mouth. They were still friendlier than those on the other side of the wall. The rats were their plague, and all were family to the poor side of the wall after all. They wanted better, of course they did. Life is cruel. Some things are just not meant to be though. This is life. Life is messed up and full of unimaginable horrors at times. There was a rumour about a box like that once. Someone opened it up and all the horrors hidden within came bursting out into the real world. That's sort of what it's like for those on the poor side of town, crowding around a fire at the edge of the wall, eating whatever scraps they could find. Not many survived to see next Christmas, but that's life for them. Life is bleak. Life is cold. Some would even say not worth living. This was all normal though, except for Sarah, the one avoided by everyone. The one who walks the streets covered in rags like everyone else and still dares to fix things. To tear down the wall and make this town whole again. People don't hate her for being weird with a false hope though. They hated her because it was her father who built that wall in the first place, taking her brother with him. He always believed everyone had their place in the world and he stood at the very top, so he built a wall. Sarah and her mother stayed on the poor side where they belonged. She died not a year later, leaving Sarah alone. So she made a plan. She made many plans, but nothing ever worked. The people in town didn't want to be happy. They were fine just getting by as it was. Life was life, and they didn't want to pretend otherwise. What was the point? She tried scaling the wall herself, but that didn't last. She wasn't a good climber and barely made it off the ground. So she used her final plan. Her brother was rich now, the second richest in town. And for the last year, he and Sarah had been hiding letters in the brick wall, forming a plan together, something that could be done on both sides to destroy the wall. The siblings stayed close even after they were torn apart, and as the clock counted down its hours, Sarah tried one last time to make the town listen. They did as she asked, not because they believed her, but they were hoping this would finally stop her from trying and just leave them all alone. The wall was built so high that the poor side of the town could only receive sunlight at midday when it was at its peak, something for the privileged, the mayor decided. As the clock tower rang out, it was time. It was midnight, which meant it was officially Christmas morning. Sarah grabbed a hold of a sledgehammer she had hidden away, and unknown to her side of town, she had spent every night for the last year slowly chipping away at the bricks. As the clock rang out, she took every step closer to that wall before she raised her hammer and knocked it down. A few swings later, and it was raining bricks. Her brother stood on the other side of town, a sledgehammer in his hand and a smile on his face to finally see his sister again. A bit like that story with the box in the way. Once all the horrors escaped from it, all that was left at the bottom was hope. Wow. Kinda reminds me of the wall coming down in Germany in the 80s. Nicely done, Nicole. Well done. Really well done. A very festive story then, even though you thought it wouldn't be, but it was. We now hit our second game. For the final time, it is the festive Yes or BS, and this episode brings you part 4. You ready, Groaners? Those playing along live, those playing along after it's recording, When I give you the nod, you press pause and you unpause when you've answered. Yes or BS, Part 4. Round 1. The Foods of Christmas round. Option A. Oysters are served in France on Christmas. Option B. On Christmas in Slovakia, they eat carps as one of their dishes. And option C. Jule board is a traditional meat served in Christmas in some regions of South Africa. Go Groaners, give me your answers. Play along after the fact, you press pause, you unpause. Okay, someone flew straight in there with C. Any others? Any others floating around Groaners? Oh, we've had B's flying in and 1A. Okie doke. Any more? Nope. Okay, moving on. Round number 2. It's the season, but not as we know it round. Option A. In Norway, on Christmas Eve, they hide the brooms. Option B. In Bhutan, they celebrate Christmas by honouring the love of family with a feast. And option C. Taiwan has the longest Christmas season, with music of the season being played as early as August. Go Groaners, give me your answers. You pause now, lows after the fact. When you've answered, you unpause. Ooh, I think we're going to get another spread across the board here, I think. Are we? Yep, that's another spread across the board, ABCs. Okay, Groaners, are here loud and clear. Moving on to round number 3. The Cuba closed town round. Option A. Cuba did not celebrate Christmas for 60 years. Option B. The town known as Santa Claus is in Indiana, USA. And option C. Snowmass is a town in Finland near Lapland. Go Groaners, give me your answers. You peel after the fact, you pause, answer, unpause. Oh, A's flying in. Are they going to be joined by anything else? Everyone going for A's? And the C's are coming in. Oh, no B's this round. Okay, give it a second. Someone's typing. Oh, no, they stopped. Guess that Groaner was shy. Never mind. You think you got points in any of the games? Stay tuned, you'll find out soon. Now going on to the final Christmas fact of the year. It's Admin Nicole's fact number 3. And this one hails from Italy, and it's bag-playing shepherds. Italian tradition sees bizarre bagpipe playing shepherds perform tunes in piazzas. That was a tongue twister in itself. And they're normally dressed in traditional sheepskin and wool cloaks. They're known as the, sorry Italy if I butcher this, Sampognari, and they perform traditional hymns and music in parts of Italy such as Naples and Rome. The pipers travel in pairs down from their mountain homes for a festive spectacle. And with the final fact from Admin Nicole, we take it over to Hero of the Week. And this one goes out to charities doing work over Christmas, some even working on Christmas Day to ensure the less fortunate amongst us get by. Please donate to your chosen charity to help out, or spare a thought when you're with family this Christmas. Not everyone can be that lucky. And now, on the opposite end of the scale, let's have Zero of the Week. And my apologies because this one is so stupid. It's not anything malice themed, it's just stupid, hence why the idiot made it in this section. He decided to waste well over 100 rolls of wrapping paper to wrap everything within his house to surprise his mother with a stupid prank. I mean, dude, you even wrap the fridge and freezer, which can be dangerous. You need to get out more. And your mother's face, because I've seen the video, she didn't look happy even when she gave you a thumbs up. Not to mention, in the ecological climate, and you're wasting loads and loads of wrapping paper. Aware, man. But that just means you get the festive Zero of the Week dishonours. And now we have the game answers. First off, give me the question and then we'll move on to yes or BS. Round 1. Your answer was the Cagney. And I phrased it that way because I might throw some people off. Your correct question was B. What is a pooing ornamental character sold around Christmas in some areas of Spain? They are actually sold in the Catalan region, and it is a tiny figure of many different designs taking a massive turd. I really wonder about some of these traditions, but I don't live in Spain, so I can't judge. Round 2. Your answer was consoda. Your correct question was option A. What is the name given to a feast shared? I'm reading the questions out as well. What is the name given to a feast shared with the spirit of dead relatives in Portugal? It's thought to bring good fortune into the house. Okay, fair enough. Alright. Last round, round 3. Your answer was turkey tamales. Your correct question was A again. What traditional food is the Christmas dish of Honduras? Nice simple dish. Basically, turkey and wraps, or whatever they want to put it in. Moving on, we're doing the SOBS now. Round 1, the Foods of Christmas round. If you went for option A at any point, oysters are served in France on Christmas, you are 100% correct and you get a point. If you went for option B, on Christmas in Slovakia they eat carps as one of their dishes, you are correct. It is usually breaded and fried or grilled with lemon. If you went for option C, julbord is a traditional meat served on Christmas in some regions of South Africa, you're wrong. Julbord is actually a 5-course Christmas banquet served in Sweden. Round 2. It's the season but not as we know it round. If you went for option A, in Norway on Christmas Eve they hide the brooms, you'd be 100% correct. This is to stop witches and evil spirits stealing the brooms to fly on when Christmas Eve night falls, which Norwegians believe that's when it's the most evil point of the year. If you went for option B, in Bhutan they celebrate Christmas by honouring the love of family with a feast, you'd be wrong. Christians only make up less than 1% of the population of Bhutan, so on the whole Christmas isn't celebrated. If you went for option C, Taiwan has the longest Christmas season, with the music of the season being played as early as August, you're actually wrong. This actually happens in the Philippines. Last round, round 3, the Cuba closed town round. If you went for option A, Cuba did not celebrate Christmas for 60 years, you're wrong. It was only 30 years until 1997 when Fidel Castro decided to celebrate Christmas in honour of the Pope visiting in 1998. If you went for option B, the town known as Santa Claus is in Indiana, USA, it's actually true. It is pretty much Christmas all year round in the town of Santa Claus. If you went for the last one, option C, GROAN-MAS is a town in Finland near Lapland, you're wrong. Surprisingly again, this town is actually in America, in Colorado. Can you believe that? I hope some of you out there got points, and with Christmas right around the corner, I really hope some of you did, in either game. We thank you for tuning in, Groaners, and from GZHQ, we wish you the merriest of Christmases. We'll see you before we move into 2024. Take care all. Bye-bye. Jola Buckaflod.